Hello, I thought I'd do some tapping today on guilt because I don't know about you, but for me, coming from the UK, guilt is a major strategy that we're taught as children. I often feel there's that unwritten saying that thou shalt not, thou can't be guilty enough. It's almost as though whatever you do, it's your job to feel guilty. And certainly as a little girl, that was the belief I had, that I had to be guilty for anything that happened, not just the stuff that I did, but if something happened to somebody else, then I felt guilty about it. And as the years have gone on and I've done lots of tapping and I have more understanding, I have released a lot of those old beliefs around guilt. And it is, as always, still a work in progress. And when you're approaching something from the position of feeling guilty, you're not in your power. You're not approaching whatever the situation is with love. You're approaching it with fear. And we know, don't we, that if you're doing something from fear rather than love, then it's not going to work out in the way that you want it to. We are naturally loving beings who have learnt to be frightened. And I think one of our jobs is to learn to release that fear so that we are back connected to that loving person that we are. And I love and accept myself as I am, a work in progress. But it feels to me that recognising that guilt was always designed to give you a message that you've in some way gone against your ethics, your belief system. And once it's given that message, it's designed to go. And what we've learnt to do is to hold on to it. So if we've done something we're ashamed of, something we wish we hadn't done, something that had consequences we didn't like, we can hold on to that belief that we have to be guilty for the rest of our life. And that's not what guilt is designed for. And it's not helpful. And I think one of the most helpful things somebody said to me was, while I carried on feeling guilty about how I was as a mother with my children, I was keeping my children in the role of victim. And until that moment, I really believed I had to be guilty for the rest of my life. And there was such a sense of relief when I realised that it's not helping me and it's not helping them. And often we can get so entangled with that guilt that we believe we're doing something really helpful, holding it. And I'm letting you know now that that's actually not the truth. So I thought we could perhaps do some tapping on releasing guilt. Okay, so tapping on the side of the hand. And as always, if you're tapping with me, you take responsibility for your own well-being. So even though I've been beautifully trained to be guilty, it's something that came down the family line. It's something that society taught me. And I really thought it was essential that I carried guilt forever. And I love and accept the parts of me that made that decision. They did a great job with the little bit of information they had at the time. And I have more information now. And it's finally safe to release the need to hold on to guilt. Even though I'm so used to feeling guilty, I'm not sure who I'd be if I wasn't. I'm letting all parts of me know. I would just be me, not feeling guilty. No more and no less. And I love and accept the part of me that thought I was guilt and guilt was me. And letting all parts know that's a misunderstanding. Even though when I go into situations laden with guilt, I don't get the results I want, because I'm going in from a position of fear. And love works better. And I love and accept the parts of me that are still running the old patterns. And I invite all parts to put guilt on pause for now, and just to test out what life feels like when I'm not wallowing in all of that guilt. I'd like all parts to notice how much more loving my relationships are, how much easier connection is, how much more joyful life is. And I'm letting all parts of me know that is my job, to love, to connect, to share who I am. And releasing guilt allows me to do that. So I thank the parts that ran the old guilty stuff, and I set them free now to go and play, or create a new job for me that's safer, healthier, and much more fun than holding on to the guilt. They've done a great job, and the job is complete now. And it's finally safe to do things differently and to be the love that I am. And I love and accept all parts of me. So check that out and see what goes on for you. There might be a particular situation that you're carrying a lot of guilt with, and that's okay. Just go in and start to clear the feelings and the beliefs. Sometimes it can help to write things down, and just as you start writing, you'll find more things come up, and then you can tap on them. Or you can have a conversation with yourself or with somebody else while you're tapping, and just watch those old patterns begin to fade as the love comes in instead. Because if it's a choice between love and fear, love is always the safest and always the most joyful. So go and enjoy. Just imagining you taking off that overcoat of guilt, and just see what life's like when you're not carrying that, and how different your relationships are. Take care. Bye.